When you stop contacting her, something powerful happens. Silence creates a mirror. In that mirror, a woman is forced to confront her own thoughts, emotions, and expectations without your constant presence shaping them. Most people believe attraction is built by effort and pursuit, but Stoic wisdom teaches the opposite. Absence reveals truth. When you remove yourself, you stop feeding reassurance, attention, and validation. What remains is her genuine perception of you. This is where the shift begins. At first, she notices the quiet. The routine breaks. Messages that once arrived without effort are suddenly gone. The Stoics understood that humans grow uneasy when what they expect no longer appears. Her mind starts filling the silence with questions. Why did he stop? Did I matter less than I thought? Is he moving on? Silence becomes louder than words ever were. This discomfort is not cruelty. It is reality asserting itself. If your presence once came easily, your absence now carries weight. When you were always available, your value felt ordinary. When you withdraw, value is re-evaluated. Stoicism teaches that people only measure worth when something is no longer guaranteed. Your silence does not beg. It does not explain. It simply exists. And in that existence, it forces reflection. This is where emotional curiosity awakens. She may begin replaying past conversations, searching for missed signals, moments she overlooked, or times she felt secure because you were there. The mind dislikes unanswered questions. When you stop contacting her, you remove closure. That uncertainty pulls attention back to you without you saying a word. Some women respond internally before they respond externally. She may not message immediately, but her thoughts return to you more often than before. Silence disrupts emotional balance. Stoic philosophy teaches mastery over impulse, and your restraint demonstrates strength. Strength is attractive not because it demands attention, but because it does not need it. At this stage, many men fail. They break silence to relieve their own discomfort, not realizing the silence was working for them. Stoicism reminds us that patience is power. When you hold your ground, you communicate self-respect. You show that your life does not pause waiting for validation. This alone reshapes how she perceives you. If this insight resonates with you and you want more content like this grounded in Stoic wisdom, self-mastery, and emotional strength, subscribe to the channel now. You don't want to miss what comes next. As time passes, her emotions begin to reorganize. When constant contact disappears, the emotional structure she relied on weakens. Stoicism teaches that attachment grows strongest where dependence once lived. When you stop reaching out, she is no longer responding to you. She is responding to herself. This is an uncomfortable place for many people, because it exposes emotional reliance they were unaware of. She may feel a subtle loss of control. Not control over you, but over the dynamic. Before, she could predict your attention. Now she cannot. Predictability creates comfort, but unpredictability awakens interest. The Stoics believed that power lies in what you can walk away from. Your silence shows that you are not governed by impulse or fear of loss. That changes the emotional balance immediately. At this point, she begins to test reality. She might check her phone more often. She may revisit your social media, even if she never interacts. This is not obsession. It is curiosity mixed with uncertainty. When someone stops contacting us, our mind searches for meaning. Is he busy? Is he done? Is he becoming someone I underestimated? Silence invites projection, and projection often favors the one who remains calm. Some women respond by reaching out casually, pretending nothing is wrong. A simple message, a light reaction, a random question. This is often an emotional probe, not a confession. She is testing whether the dynamic still exists. Stoicism teaches restraint in moments like this. Responding with composure, not eagerness, reinforces the strength your silence already communicated. Other women do not reach out at all, but that does not mean nothing is happening. Stoics remind us that outcomes are not always visible. Internal conflict does not announce itself. Silence forces a woman to decide how much access you truly had to her emotions. Whether she reaches out or not, the process is already unfolding within her. What matters most is not her reaction, but your discipline. Stoicism is not about manipulation. It is about self-command. When you stop contacting her, you are not trying to provoke a response. You are reclaiming your time, attention, and emotional energy. Ironically, this is what often makes you more compelling. Many men believe attraction is created through explanation and reassurance. Stoicism teaches that clarity comes from behavior, not words. By stepping back, you demonstrate that your worth does not depend on being constantly acknowledged. That quiet confidence communicates more than any message ever could. If this perspective is helping you see relationships differently, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. You'll find more videos focused on Stoic thinking, emotional discipline, and building unshakable inner strength. Over time, silence begins to redefine memory. When you stop contacting her, she no longer interacts with the present version of you. Instead, she interacts with the version of you that exists in her mind. Stoic thinkers understood that perception often outweighs reality. Without new information, the mind fills gaps using emotion, imagination, and past impressions. If you carried yourself with dignity and restraint before withdrawing, that image grows stronger in your absence. This is where respect quietly forms. Respect is not created through constant availability. It is born from boundaries. When you stop reaching out, you demonstrate that your attention is selective. That selectiveness signals self-worth. Many people confuse distance with coldness, but Stoicism teaches that distance can be a form of clarity. You are not punishing. You are prioritizing. She may begin comparing you to others. This comparison is unavoidable. When other men offer easy attention, it highlights the difference between presence and value. What is freely given is rarely cherished. What is earned through emotional depth and self-control lingers longer. Stoic philosophy reminds us that quality always outweighs quantity. One calm, grounded presence leaves a stronger impression than endless words. At this stage, emotional tension can surface. She may feel irritation, confusion, or even defensiveness. These emotions are often misunderstood as disinterest, but they are signs of disrupted expectation. When someone no longer behaves as anticipated, the emotional system reacts. The Stoics taught that disturbance reveals attachment. Calmness reveals freedom. Your silence exposes both. Some women reinterpret the silence as strength. Others interpret it as loss. Either way, the dynamic has changed. The old version of interaction no longer exists. What replaces it depends on your consistency. If you maintain composure and direction in your life, the silence becomes meaningful. If you return without purpose, the silence loses its power. This is why Stoicism emphasizes inner alignment over external outcome. You do not control how she interprets your absence. You control how you live during it. When you invest in your growth, your discipline, and your peace, the silence becomes authentic. Authentic silence carries weight. Most importantly, you stop chasing emotional reassurance. When you detach from the need to be seen or validated, you reclaim your center. Ironically, this often draws attention back to you. Not because you demanded it, but because you no longer needed it. If you're learning how Stoic thinking can transform not just relationships, but your entire mindset, make sure you subscribe to the channel. More content like this is coming, focused on strength, clarity, and emotional mastery.